Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This will be a comparison between all three of the Trick or Treat Studios 1/6 scale Michael Myers figures released so far. That's the 1978 version in the middle, and the Part 5 version over here, and the Part 4 version over there. Now, the only thing that I've modified with these figures is the head sculpt on the 78. That has been repainted, but other than that, everything is completely stock, so bear that in mind during the video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and make sure you drop a like on the video if you enjoy it. Let's take a look at the boxes first. I absolutely love these. I was hoping, before we ever actually saw them, I did suspect, and I was just hoping that they would just go with the, the poster art for whatever film the figure was from. And thank God they did that, because it's absolutely awesome. And then on the back of each one, you have images from each movie, which is just total class. Whoever was responsible for making this decision for the packaging, pat yourself on the back, because you could not have done a better job. Honestly, it's I want to swear it's so good, but I won't. Absolutely stunning. I mean, you could, display them like that instead. Just put the figure there, and then you'd have the figure, and then the real thing. Get the old 78 H4. Get over here, boy. There we go. Yeah, see, that would look cool too. It would certainly, for the layman or someone who's not too familiar, when they come and see your collection, they'll be like, oh, okay, I got you. That's that one, that's that one. Because, Halloween 5 might not mean much to them as far as which number the film is, but they might recognize the mask. Anyway, I'm prattling on. Now, I will take off the coveralls for all the figures and we'll see the bodies. I have a suspicion that the skin tone on these two more recent figures is slightly lighter than the one on the 78. Might be wrong. It's just something I've noticed on the neck. But we'll see about that. I'll take off the coveralls. We'll take a look at the boots, because there's some differences there. And other things. Just all the details like the hands and obviously the masks. So we'll start with the masks. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. These head sculpts by Justin Mabry and Alex Ray just couldn't be better. I mean, been a big collector of Michael Myers custom stuff for a good few years now. So many people have tried valiantly, amazing work from the custom people out there, man. One's Customs and Legio 7 Workshop and Beta Metalli, Kane Productions. So many people doing amazing work in the custom world. But I mean, when Justin Mabry did this, it just kind of just put a stamp on it. It's done. This is absolutely spot on to the 1978 mask, and I absolutely love it. But the stock paint job was fantastic. It kind of highlighted certain parts of the face, whereas my paint job here is just kind of a stark white, but with a bit of a black wash just to get into the little detail areas and stuff. You see a bit of skin tone coming through on the neck, and I also deep set the eyes. They are still in there. They're just harder to see now, and the light is coming from above, which casts the kind of the right lighting on the masks here. And the hair, I love that. I love the horns. You can see those classic kind of Michael Myers horns. Again, being a big custom head sculpt collector guy, usually they have like real hair, like rooted hair, and you just, I don't know, it can look great, but me personally, in my experience, I'm just constantly fiddling with it, trying to get it to look perfect, and just never quite satisfied with it. Whereas the sculpted hair is incredible. And Nick said something once, it's true. I mean, you think about all the Hot Toys figures, like Captain America with the Steve Rogers head sculpts, and just anyone, Henry Cavill Superman figures by Hot Toys, Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator figures, they all have sculpted hair. And it's only with the longer haired characters you might expect rooted hair, but Michael Myers just has regular length hair, really. So why wouldn't it be sculpted, But again, I don't mean to steal Nick's thought there, but that's actually what he said. That's a good point. So I really love sculpted hair for the Michael Myers heads, is what I'm trying to tell you. Let me take a look over here at the Halloween 5 one again. Really good job with the sculpted hair on this. It's a very creepy looking mask. It's nowhere near as creepy as the original, that's for sure, but I also love how they did the extra detail with the painted hair flicks coming on here. Really blends in well with the actual sculpted hair. So that's awesome. Something also to make note of is the fact that the Halloween 5 and the Halloween 4 head, that's the Halloween 4 head sculpt, not his forehead, which is pretty large, I guess. They have blacked out eyes, but it's sculpted black. So there's no kind of indentation into the mask, really. It's basically just the effect is done by, just having the sculpt continue, but it's just painted black. And it's alright. It's alright. But it is curious because they did, they actually put the eyes inside the 78 mask. And I know from the pictures I've seen on Kane Productions page, I believe that's where I saw it, the 2018 Trick or Treat Studios head sculpt that's coming out soon is much like the 78 in that it actually does have eyes sculpted into the mask. Now, I'm not sure if it will be exactly the same as the way this one was set up. It could be just one sculpt all together, because when you remove the head, see that in there? See, I've modified mine so it looks a bit weird. I've set the eyes deeper into the mask. See, they are still there, but you just don't see them as obviously. But yeah, that joint is where that connects on to the neck. There you go. But yeah, so long story short, this one has eyes that are kind of a separate piece in the mask. So that was really well done. But then on the Halloween 4, they just went for kind of a sculpted black look, same as the Halloween 5. I mean, the effect is fine, but like I mentioned in the review, maybe just a hollowed out head to just naturally create that kind of void of darkness inside the mask. But, whatever. Doesn't look bad or anything. I like it. Let's just get a look at the side profiles. That 78 is just incredible, man. Look at the detail on the sculpted hair. I just love the way that's done. Now, as far as the height goes, the H5 seems to be the shorter one. It's not by much, but this must be the body, because I just had the measuring tape out and I did measure them all to, the tip of their heads, and they're all basically coming in at just over 12 inches, like literally 12.1 or whatever you call it. So, but there does seem to be, as far as shoulders go, a bit of a significant difference there with the H5. Alright, now I've got all three on the rotating base, and I've got the light coming from above, so we'll just see them all come around individually. This is a really cool shot here. I don't think I've seen this done yet on the Tube of You. So you go ahead and you enjoy this view of evil. Boogeyman 3 times. Not once, not twice, but thrice the evil. That's right, there's the 78 coming round to say hi. Doesn't even need to hold a knife, he's just kill you just with a stare. While the H4 clutches his blade. The H5 looking pretty scary there with the old burnt hand coming around. The H4 has that as well. 78 was not burnt yet, so his hands are clean-ish. Alright, nice and close. Let them come around one more time for you. Soak up all the glorious detail. The H4, the H5, and the Babysitter Killer, the original, the OG, 1978's shape. There he is. God damn. It's a thing of beauty right there. It's a beautiful thing. Alright, now let's take a look at the coveralls. And again, I'm no expert on part 5 and part 4, but I know my stuff when it comes to the original 1978. And in reality, on the set of the film, they were not this colour, this kind of dark navy blue, but this is how they kind of appear on screen during the interior nighttime footage, shots, scenes. So that's kind of the universal. I mean, Michael Myers kind of, if you're thinking of the original 1978, just from, you know, all the pop culture stuff that's out there, artwork, posters, previous figures from different companies in smaller scale, like from NECA, McFarlane. I mean, universally, it's kind of recognized that Michael Myers from 1978 has a white mask with brown hair and navy blue coveralls. But in reality, the coveralls were more of a, here goes the debate. I mean, I kind of go for, like, the Unsealed Final Run coveralls. I have like a charcoal grey, but with a hint of green in there. And that seems to be the most accurate kind of colour. You know, but the debate goes on and on forever. I mean, one day maybe some cool behind-the-scenes footage will come out from the original movie and settle that debate once and for all. But I know what they were going for here with the navy blue. They wanted to just kind of replicate how it looks on screen when he's in the house after Laurie and stuff like that. So, amazing work from Tanila's Customs. It's Tanila who gave Trick or Treat Studios the blueprints to how to get these done. And all three are fantastically made. Now, the Halloween 5 movie, it seems to be movie accurate to tuck the collar up into the neck, so that's why you're not seeing a collar. It does have one. And they are very similar to the part 4s over here. It's just there's a difference in color, really. That seems to be the only difference between the part 4, with more of a blue tone, and the part 5, more of a grey. But very well done. And I think the 1978 coveralls are fantastic also. Great elastic around the waist, which you can see better from the back. All three figures have this, which is what they're supposed to have, so that's good. And also even little details like the weight of the back of the shoulder here, which I believe they kind of put that in maybe the late 60s and started to bring it into the 70s for more range of movement when you were wearing the coveralls. So it's really cool to see that detail carried over into the actual 1/6 scale figures. That's amazing. Double stitching. So not just a single row of stitching on the pockets and other places like that. You can actually see that it is double stitching. Double stitchy. Yeah. So excellent work on the coveralls, and they all fit the body very well. But let's take the coveralls off and get a look at the bodies. Alright, so I've removed all the coveralls from the bodies. Just give you a look at these laying down here with the hands. So 3 very different tones. And then the bodies with just the head sculpts and the t-shirt and the boots. Now to keep the price down, I guess, they went with, it's not actually a t-shirt, it's kind of just a bit of black material sellotaped around the sides there. But you're never going to see it, so I'm not trying to make excuses for Trick or Treat Studios on this one. I'm just saying, you know, once the coveralls are on and zipped up, you'd never know. And we really do need a double bend elbow from now on. We'll see when that starts to kick in. You know, the 78 figure in the middle was the very first 1/6 scale figure Trick or Treat Studios ever released. And this is like the, well, I don't know what order they came out. These both come out at the same time, the 4 and the 5. So yeah, the first one they released, and then the second and the third. So I'm sure things will evolve and change as the company continues to release 1/6 scale figures. I'm really excited to see what else they do. And if you're watching Trick or Treat Studios, which you're probably not, but we could really do with some more 1/6 scale werewolf stuff. I'm a big werewolf fan myself. It doesn't have to have hair on it, you could sculpt it. Well, I suppose you would need to put hair on it really, but yeah, I need some howling werewolf figures. American Werewolf in London, my favourite, Dog Soldiers, or Bad Moon, for those of you out there who know what Bad Moon is. Right, so yeah, double bend elbow would be nice from now on, and a stand. Just a simple stand like this one here, just to hold the figures up. They stand up pretty good by themselves. Now you can see the 1978 figure in the middle. His body has a darker skin tone than the part 4 and the part 5. So So that's interesting. That changed after the first release. I think that skin tone for the 78 is a bit too dark. Michael Myers, you know, I think Loomis says he was pale, emotionless face. Yeah, it ain't exactly pale. He looks like he's been to the Bahamas for a couple of years. But anyway. Nice muscly arms. Pretty jacked, to be fair. I mean, for 1978, I wouldn't say he was that rippled. He was just a regular guy. That's what John Carpenter said was so creepy about the original Michael Myers, because he was just a normal guy, 5'10", you know, not a big monster like Tyler Mane. But I do like the Tyler Mane Michael Myers a lot. It's actually the Michael Myers that got me into Halloween in the first place. But yeah, what else should I mention? So you've got, yeah, bodies seem very similar. Just a slightly different skin tone with the 78 compared to the other two. Now, as far as the boots go, these are the 1978 boots here. And then you have the Halloween 5 boots, which I believe are exactly the same as the Halloween 4 boots. You can tell by the laces and the way they're kind of done up at the front at the top of the boots. Very much the same as what I'm seeing over here with the Halloween 5. But that's okay, because from what I've seen, Halloween 5 literally takes place right where Part 4 left off. Same as the way the original Halloween 2 picks up right where the 1978 film left off. Right, with the 1978 boots, they are quite long. As far as, I mean, I'm not sure what size foot Michael Myers is supposed to be here, but it's like a size 13 or something compared to his 12-inch height. But it does help keep him standing up without a stand. I will say that. They're pretty good. I do prefer this kind of solid sculpted boots like this, because again, they just help keep your figure upright. There's not much chance of him tipping forward with these on. But when you see the boots that come with the Part 4 and 5, they are pretty different in design, and certainly not quite as long as the 1978s. So some of you might prefer these over these ones, but I mean, they're still pretty damn accurate looking. Now I'll just get a look at this angle as well with the kind of tread. So these are the 1978s, and these are the Halloween 5 boots. So it's nice that they're so different. It shows that, you know, they didn't cut any corners with that. They went ahead and made the boots look the way they were supposed to for each one. You can see little Trick or Treat Studios 2020 on the tread there. Same over here. Woo! Right, now with the knives, I believe, well, this is the Halloween 5 one, and this is the one from Halloween 4. And then over here we have the 1978 knife. I would have removed the knives from the hands, but they're really quite tricky to get in there, so I didn't want to mess with that. But it's a different knife though. This one has a kind of a black handle, whereas the 78 has more of a kind of wooden light brown handle. But these two knives and these two hands are pretty much identical from the Part 4 and Part 5. Here's one of the relaxed hands from the 1978 figure. Here's one of the relaxed hands from either the Part 4 or Part 5 figure. I believe they're identical, so it doesn't really matter. But there, difference. Not too bad, man. The like the skin tone, the detail on the hand on the 78. It's not just a straight up flat paint job. They did that kind of Hot Toys trick with like flicking the paint bristles on there or whatever they did to get that kind of speckle effect. And over here with the burnt, scarred hand, there's some grime on the fingernails on there as well. It's pretty good work. Alright, well now I just got to put these guys all back together again. I also just want to show you something I mentioned in the review for the Halloween 4 figure. From what I've seen, his shoulders should be kind of higher, and there are things you could do. You could put some cotton wool padding in the shoulders to bring it up, because as soon as you do that, I mean, it's already a great looking figure for a Halloween 4 Michael Myers, but as soon as you pinch this material and lift it up, I mean, you know, it exposes the wrist section a lot more, so that's not good. But I mean, from this view right here, that looks a lot more like him to me now, with the shoulders pulled right up. But then you see when I pull this all back down, how it's supposed to be like that. See, we have quite a big difference there. So I had an idea, and I mentioned this in a live stream, so that I could do that mod there and pad this shoulder up and bring the shoulders up to get that more movie accurate look. But because he was all bandaged up at the beginning of Halloween 4 because of the events at the end of Halloween 2, maybe I could get around the kind of wrist peg showing situation by just kind of making some white bandages and kind of cover it and stain them with blood, maybe, because that would be quite in keeping with the, you know, what happened in Halloween 4. So I might do that, and I'll bring you a video if I do, folks, if I do decide to get on with that mod, which I probably will at some point. But it's interesting. That's all I'm going to say for now. Oh, hello, Art the Clown. Look at that. Hurry up and release him, Trick or Treat Studios. I want that figure so bad. Can't wait. Yeah, there really is quite a significant difference in skin tone between the 78 and the 4 and 5. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty significant difference. That's pretty much it, folks. Put them all back together again, and I've left the collar showing on the Halloween 5 over here, just for a change. It's not movie accurate, but I'd kind of like to see the collar. So I'm going to rock him like that for just a little while. But I have to say, Trick or Treat Studios have done an amazing job with these figures. They kept the price down, and they've really earned a lot of people's respect. I mean, obviously Trick or Treat Studios have had people's respect for ages because of their awesome life-size masks and all the other cool stuff that they make. But when it comes to the 1/6 scale world, collectors don't mess about. We're quite obsessive about things. We want things to be just right. And Trick or Treat Studios came out of the gate swinging hard, man, with the 78 Myers. They could have screwed it up big time, but they did not. They killed it. They knocked it out of the park. Absolutely nailed it. Really, really impressive stuff. Cannot wait to see their 2018 Myers figure. Cannot wait to see the Trick or Treat Studios Art the Clown from Terrifier. Really excited about that. I need to get 2 of those. One to keep clean and one to do a custom bloody version. Really looking forward to that. But yeah, bear in mind, like I said, the only thing that's been modified with these guys is I did repaint my 1978 head sculpt to just make it a bit more of a stark white. And I'm doing different versions. I've got my other spare one, which I did a more weathered head sculpt. I suppose I can just show you that now. Go ahead and show you. So this is the more weathered paint job that I did. Let's see if I can get this to look good in the light. So yeah, you've got the more kind of just stark white after seeing the Sean Clark video on YouTube where he's with Tommy Lee Wallace and they show you how they made the original mask. So I just went for that kind of stark white that Tommy Lee Wallace was talking about, but I did add the skin tone on the neck. And then this one, a little bit more weathering, as you can see, a little bit more grimy, not too much, but a little bit more black wash and weathering done on this one as opposed to the more stark white. Obviously, like I was saying before about the original 1978 coveralls, the actual color, I mean, this is probably the most accurate representation of what they were in real life. That kind of charcoal grey with a hint of green in there. It's very subtle, but... And this is the double bend elbow that we're all kind of hoping for in the future with these figures. It allows you to get them in a pose like that. But there's videos on the channel, folks, for those of you that haven't seen any of my other stuff, explaining what this is and what it consists of and how to do it and all that. So you can find that on the channel. But yeah, man, get in touch if you want me to repaint your head sculpt. That is something I'm offering. You can get in touch with me on Facebook or Instagram. And don't forget, if you want to pick up any of these figures, the best place to do that is madabouthorror.co.uk. That's where I got mine, and they arrived absolutely super fast. Really fast. And super well packaged. Really, really awesome stuff. Can't recommend Mad About Horror enough. And can't praise Trick or Treat Studios enough for all they've done. And the choices they made when it comes to the people they work with, like Tanila and Alex Ray and Justin Mabry. Really good choices there. Have led to some incredible 1/6 scale figures at a very respectable price. You've got to take your hat off to that. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like on it if you did. Don't forget to subscribe. And check me out on Facebook and Instagram at DeanKnight333. We got a store, The Figure Pit. You can come check us out at www.thefigurepit.com. See what we got. Other than that, I'll be back with you soon with a Blitzway Hannibal Lecter figure review. That's going to be coming up on the channel real soon. Looking forward to bringing you that. Should be a nice creepy one, just like this. Alright, see you soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye.